Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight on the main stage of Team Fortress TV 1, where we'll be doing Ascent, the number 2 seed in playoffs of this ESEA Season 25 against Gnomercy with a G. The Gnomes are coming out in full force as the 3rd seed. And joining me tonight, we've got a big lineup with myself, Ro, and Marxist on the casting department, Azazel with our production, and Marmaloo, who will be doing some analysis for this best of 3 series going into the early brackets of the playoffs. Marxist, what's going on? What do you see here?
Well, I'm pretty excited for this match. Playoffs always deliver, typically, especially the 2v3 match. So we'll see what we're going to get. The maps tonight actually should be pretty much fan favorites. We got Process first, and then Gullywash will be your second map. Now, those are guaranteed. Those are going to happen, and it should they split the difference through the first 2. We will see Granary as the tiebreaker here, and we'll see what goes on from there. But I think we may as well just get in on this and read out some of the rosters here in case you've lived under a rock for the last several months.
I'll just do Gnomercy, since that's the major change that we have going on. And although I don't recognize Failure, I'm pretty sure it's the same player that it's always been. So we're going to run this down now. Over on the side of Gnomercy, instead of Cookie Jake as your medic, we're going to be having High Five, who I believe might be Failure. That might very well be his name in the server. Also following up, let me continue with the rest of the roster names. Failure is Yite. Thank you so much, Marmaloo, with the huge, quick analysis right there. I really should not have a push to talk when I'm trying to click on things and making it bad buttons. Okay, moving forward, the scouts for Gnomercy will include Yite as well as Slemnish, 2 great scouts. On the side of Soldier will be our soldiers that are the names that I am clicking. Marmaduke a name. Thank you. I'm sorry. Very slow here. And Dingo, finally, to cap things off for Gnomercy, the Demo Man. And that'll be the Gnomercy roster.
Yeah, and coming against them are, I would say, the favorites here so far. And that will be Ascent. Ascent will have Nursey on Medic, Badonsky on Demo, Rando and Mela are your soldiers, Yomps and Corsa are the scouts. Now, however, if you've watched Ascent much throughout this season, they are prone to switch their players and classes around, particularly Rando to Scout. So we'll see what they decide to come at Process with, and hopefully it turns out well, whichever way they decide to go. But
we are... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So I was just going to kick it over. We got Marmaloo here. The people probably want to hear the Marmadog talk just for a second, so we'll let you run away.
Previous on Process, both these teams had a decent game, except Ascent, they lost to Feint early in the season. Mainly, Ascent wasn't really taking it that seriously, but I feel like this is a pretty even map, but the problem is Gnomercy is not nearly as practiced as Ascent. Ascent's been scrimming Tech this entire week, top level, and throughout the season, the main thing has been first and second are completely out of the range of the other teams, besides sometimes Feint if they play well. But Gnomercy, they haven't really contested that much against this team, but if they can get their players aiming, and they usually start playing it slowly and just get Yite, Slemnish, Marmaduke on Sniper, and just keep taking shots, and if Ascent can't control that, they can easily just lose this map.
All right, that sounds pretty solid here. We do have quite a number of players in the server, 10 to be exact, so we're just waiting on the last 2 holdouts, and then we will get right down to it here and watch some high-quality Process, I hope. So, but thanks to Marmadog for that cutting analysis. It's always nice to have an analyst who plays an invite and has first-hand experience of the current players and teams.
And I actually want to take it a step further, because Marmadog brings up a really good point that I think we need to talk about. On the side of Ascent, there was only one sniper, and granted, he's got what it takes. Corsa is a very good sniper, seasoned from Highlander at a very young age and honing his skills in the invite level. On the side of Gnomercy, they have a lot of different talents between Yite and Marmaduke and all the names you just mentioned. It's really easy for Gnomercy to mix it up and get a different style, you could say, from a different kind of sniper, and maybe one of them will trump the Corsa sniper v sniper, and then from there they will have opportunities to, work their sniper as a defensive or offensive pick class.
Yep, and the flexibility you get from having a soldier that can snipe as well is really nice, particularly for this map, because of how much coverage you can get. If the scouts come out of the middle doors, they can double jump right onto the point. And so if you've got 2 scouts to push process last, it's usually pretty easy to bait that point out and get it rolling, so to speak, to draw the other team down into the sight line of the sniper, which can pretty much break you on a last hold if they can manage to hit a shot. Which, in this case, I would say the probability of that happening is high. So we'll see. I have a feeling it'll really come down strongly to how mids play out. Because if you end up with a Gnomercy advantage from winning mids, they have a lot more tools in their bag to keep you stuck off of mid or off of your own second.
Yeah, there is although there's not quite that much to work with as far as the sightline go. It's hard to push with a sniper, except maybe peeking those sewer doors very aggressively and having a teammate there to support you. It's really hard to push into a sniper that's holding mid because the choke points are just so strong. The spammability inside IT is too good. Stickies on the shutter or at the choke points will also slow things down if they manage to bully their way through the point. Sniper is just so strong defensively on this map. And like you said, if Gnomercy takes a mid, they could potentially break out the sniper right away and hold on to that mid for a considerable amount of time, putting Ascent at the wheel to the ball in their court to pull victory out of that, snatch the mid back.
Well, I forgot to say this, but usually on Ascent, like, Corse is a really good sniper, but Yomps is usually the one doing all the off-classing on that team, and also, they don't run sniper nearly as much as a team like Gnomercy will. And also, usually, like, Yite and Slemnish are more, like, traditional, I'm just going to take this shot over and over again, but Marmaduke goes for some, like, really unorthodox peaks a lot of time. But how Ascent likes to break these, like, last holds when they're pushing from second to last is a 2-man sack with Yomps and Rando. Usually the scout just runs in and Rando just jumps in. They try to either get a demo pick, get a pick and get out, or try and force the med. It's really good if you're not holding very properly.
It's a pause is what we've got right now. So I will bring it back to what Marmaloo is talking about. But it does look like we have a starting pause. We're in the pregame still yet. The match has not started for us. But usually what this means has happened is sometimes at the very start of a match, for whatever reason, the ESEA client or TF2 itself will die. And so somebody probably instantly crashed right to start the game. And it's okay if that happens to a scout or the pocket. Like, it will make very little difference. But if it's a medic or a demo, that could very well influence the outcome of the first mid, in that one team may just not go. So that's what we'll probably see into the future. But to bring it back to what Marmaloo was talking about, yeah, so do you think that Marmaduke's unorthodox peaks and kind of odd style of playing sniper is due to his incredibly long time playing this game? Or is it just him being a weird guy?
I feel like it's being a weird guy and just getting kind of bored sometimes. Playing this long, you're going to get bored eventually. So sometimes he just pulls out the Machina and just goes for some random body shots or some random angles. But I feel like if Gnomercy takes the first round, they can definitely slow it down, because the problem is Ascent, they don't really slow it down nearly as much as Gnomercy, and they don't abuse it nearly as much, but they can dry push a lot better, and they surprise you with some random pushes because they have the confidence. They're like, we're better than you, So we're going to take this even fight, and we're probably going to win it. Because Badonsky's amazing damage, and their soldiers and scouts are just insane.
Yeah, I would agree. Badonsky can really put you down if you let him. I would say, as far as Badonsky's playing goes, probably this season is not his best, but he's still really, really good.
Overall, the star players in the server are basically just Ascent scouts. Rando, he's been having an iffy season against the top level teams. He's been going negative, sometimes like even, but usually just negative. And mainly like the firepower from Gnomercy is just Dingo just plays such a weird demo. He gets really aggro at times and just hits every pipe or every sticky. And if you give their scouts too much room, they have incredible DM and they can just run you over.
I want to bring up one last thing before we get live, because we do have all 12 players in server. How do you feel about the high five medic?
As far as I know, Cookie doesn't have that much of a role in calling. High five med's gonna be a downgrade because Cookie's, of course, really good at med. He used to play for Ascent, but I feel like it's not going to have... If they were going to win this match, Cookie's not going to be the determining factor completely, but if they lose by a bit, it may just because that little switch, but I don't think it's going to affect Calms that much. Their gameplay may be affected a little bit.
All right, good to hear. The downgrade, the supposed downgrade, will not have an impact on whether or not Gnomercy wins this, so I'm hoping they will come out in full force, even with High Five filling in for Corn Pop, Cookie Jake this week as he's on vacation. We have both players readying up, and we'll have the matches live text going very shortly. Any predictions for this map score-wise from both of you?
I'm expecting a 5-3 to Ascent.
Yeah, I would favor the 5-3, 5-4 territory. If Ascent kind of really screws around here or has their drop early on a med, we might see it push more towards the 4.
Right away, Marmaduke Grills jumping onto the head of Podolsky, gets fat damage onto him, but he does take the health pack and is able to survive long enough. And Rando picks up 2 kills as, unfortunately, AIM could not follow up there in time. Of course, he's going to run towards taking on Slemnish right away. And it's Dingo, very desperate to take down Mela, who's got the shotgun out. Gonna be able to get that shot onto him and choke, catching out the medic. High five at the choke point. It is just Yide alive, and that's going to be a clean wipe. Only 1 death from poor Yomps as he was peeking from the IT area. And that's going to be a quick cap and a quick push from Ascent to take the first round, potentially.
Now, my spawn is probably screwed up here, but they're running the double, maybe even triple sniper. And there we go. So they're still on double sniper heavy on last here, as Ascent running the normal lineup. They have not done the class switcheroo thing yet. We'll see what they choose to do, because they should be bringing this Uber now. We'll see if the double sniper has an influences. Both of them are very deep, but they're going to end up losing one of them. No med frags there. Rando is going to die to Marmaduke. Mela's going to get blown away by Dingo. There he goes, hitting his pipes, but the pressure is all over the point as the push comes back through. Slemnish and Med in tandem. Now it's just Slemnish and this heavy. And I think that's going to be enough for Ascent. Badonsky is pretty much stuck here, trying to fight a scout. He may go down. No, a soldier joins to help him. And that was a fail push, but they do manage to kill High Five.
I do want to say it was a really great arrow from High Five to keep Dingo alive long enough to take down Mela. And that extra fragging, or that extra death, reduced Ascent's fragging power going to this last, and because they didn't play the objective hard enough, it was a clutch heavy there by Yite to keep things alive just long enough for the respawns. Right now there is a 50% advantage from Gnomercy, and they are definitely going to be pulling forward all the momentum in the world to make this advantage go to their favor.
Yeah, they may just come back in. Maybe that was a trial run. It looks like they're actually going to go through a different door here. Yeah, they're going hard left. And in they go. There is a sniper who's going to die straight away in a replay of what happened last time. Rando's going to die again straight out of the gate. The 7th player is going to go down here. And again, a stalling push. There's not a lot of pressure on the point. And Dingo's going to blow players away, but they're unable to stop the point. Corsa is just going to walk on it. get some courtesy shots, and Cap to win the round.
I want to start things off by saying the result of that pause we saw in the pregame was because High Five disconnected and messed up Dingo's rollout. So hopefully in this rollout we see right away, he's so much faster, but Rando's going to be putting the pressure on right away, knocking him back to the pack, waiting for his players to heal him up. And now Ascent trying to get in position. Aim as well as Marmaduke doing a nice little double bomb in front of IT. Gonna get taken down by Yomps though. Slemnish is gonna be able to pick up on the Corso right away, but Yike gets taken down once again by Badonsky. These frags are exchanging left and right, both sides. Dingo now taking a lot of pressure from the scout. Yomps, who's rushing forward, gonna get him around the rock and take him down right away. Now it's a chase coming up from Badonsky, who's rushing forward, throwing stickies at the choke point, but High Five is gonna be able to surf that sticking away very nicely. And it's still Marmaduke in the sewer, ready to strike at any moment, and I don't think they know he's there.
Yeah, he is being a sneaky Marmaduke. He's just chilling. I think he thinks someone's going to come in here eventually. They do, but it's too much for him. The whole team goes, so they called that straight away, and they have the player advantage to push. Marmaduke gets kind of a crappy spawn time, so he's not going to be around for a while. They're going in IT because that's normally where Marmaduke would live, and we'll see what's going to happen.
Aim gonna get taken down and find the aggression of Mela, but Dingo is gonna take that down before Gnomercy could even pop it, not fearing anything at all. Dingo's gonna go down. Of course, he rushed forward, managed to get him to explode himself. And now, with all these frags down, Gnomercy are gonna be looking to have at least hold on to their Uber here. But if they push fast enough, Ascent could take this down before the respawns come in time. Dingo is still 6 seconds away. They're pressuring the point already. Yomps gonna get taken down right away. Both guys down on from Ascent. It's gonna be really hard for them to get this cap now. They're gonna be pulling the full retreat, playing it back, and hopefully forcing out the Uber before they can get too deep. Now they're rushing from underneath. Gonna be wrapping on top of IT. Nice little double bomb from Abe, who's gonna knock Gnomercy very low on health, but it's not gonna be enough to take it down. Slemnish gonna be the frag as he walks forward, gets taken down by Rando, who is sitting at the forward of the choke. The cap does go in favor of Gnomercy, but the Ubers are not forced. And actually that's really good for Gnomercy because now they do have potential to hold on to this because they didn't force going into second.
Yeah, and we'll see what's going to happen. They may try to run a sack right away. That was an interesting play from Ascent there because they basically went for the point. They knew they were at Uber disadvantage, so they just tried to tease out the point while players were dead. And now they're playing all around the sewer. I like to call this the merry-go-round strat because you basically have a player peeking in and out of sewer while pressure comes from choke, and they'll just rotate around. And that's going to result in the deaths of several players, but again, Dingo with the pipes. They're going to get too many frags here. Ubers are forced out, but it's not a winning proposition for Ascent. And there's a big chance that they might get cut off at the door here. And there's Gnomercy going down, unable to get out in time. There is a fight coming out from Mela as well to try and make the best of a bad situation. But he's unable to do anything.
Very good initiative from Aim, who was able to take that very late Uber, come right in. Rando pressuring High Five, not going to be able to get that frag though, thanks to the defensive play of Gnomercy. Oh, but Badonsky's going to be able to pick up Aim, who was a little too far forward in the IT, and Badonsky could actually potentially peek here again, trying to get a little bit of pressure. He's actually going to be rushing forward with the help of his teammates. He's going to be no fear whatsoever. Mardu going to cut off the exit, try and take down Badonsky, but it's not going to be enough. But thankfully, Slemnish, who has the scattergun, going to be able to walk forward, take up those 1 HP chip shots at point-blank range, of course. And now Gnomercy looking to take this second point almost uncontested here. They do have the Uber, and Gnomercy is nowhere near it because of that great play from Aim in the sewer to lock out the escape. Slemnish going to go down, unfortunately, though, on Rando, and the other soldiers so close to the choke. They're getting very hurt here, but they're going to get healed up. And Rando going to die to a roller from Dingo there. So now the pressure's coming off. High Five rushing forward with this Uber from Yite, who's going to be pushing out players. Going to be clearing off the point and getting the cap here. Can they get it in time? The players are rotating. The Uber is ready from Gnomercy any moment now. They do have it just in time, and now playing it very slow. They're not going to have to force it here, but they are going to be worried about the player coming in to force it. Oh! Very good damage from the Marmaduke bomb. Going to be able to force that Uber off from Gnomercy, who's now rushing forward with the help of Corsa, pushing players out of the choke, and Ubers are relatively even, only about 25 advantage on the side of High Five.
Yeah, it was a heads-up play from Gnomercy to try to get that point to go down. It just didn't work out. But kudos to them for giving it a try. And now we've got a double scout push in sewers, actually, and pressure from choke from Mela. So we'll see. This may break it right now. Rotating soldiers at the choke. I love to see that, Ro.
That tickles your jimmies, and that'll be enough. But no, Ascent decides to back it off because Rando is going to get cleaned up potentially here. A nice long-distance rocket from Marta going to be able to get it, but unfortunately, Yite was a little too far stretch. And Yop's going to be able to take it down with the help of Corsa there. But Gnomercy sees the opportunity. They're going to be rushing forward here. But Corsa jumps on the fence, catches out aim as he was low on health. The Uber is forced off, but it doesn't connect with Slemnish. High Five misses out, milking the Uber a little too hard, and now Dingo, who is desperate to get onto Gnomercy, who has absolutely no fear, didn't even take any damage whatsoever from Dingo. Gonna survive that exchange, and High Five did manage to get out, but with a huge disadvantage. It's gonna be really hard to hold on to this for much longer.
Yeah, that we talked a little bit about High Five's relative inexperience on the medic class, and that was one of those situations where that probably wouldn't have dissolved the way it did if Cookie Jake were here. But you never know, maybe Cookie could have a bad game too, so.
That is certainly a potential for the Cookie to crumble. But you see Mela gonna be able to grab a nice little frag on the Marmaduke Grills, but Corsa gonna die to the Dingo spam. And the rest of these players exchanging onto the point. Yai gonna be able to take down Mela, very low on health, gonna get forced off with the help of Gnomercy. And now High Five with 70% actually wants to kind of peek it a little bit aggressively because they know Dingo's in. He's going to be rushing forward, getting the sticky damage off, and Yite has absolutely no fear. She's pressuring. Oh, what a nice air shot to deny Dingo. Going to slow down his aggression right now, but he's going to take an arrow and a quick little buff, replenish his health, and now walk forward, trying to get a little bit more eyes onto where the players are to work their way in because the respawns, Marmaduke and AIM, are coming forward with the help of Slemnish, who's sitting on top, getting eyes on Rando, who might get picked off in the sewer. It's not going to happen. Yomps on the sniper, peeking very aggressively, going to get the shot on the Slemnish. Nice little headshot there. Does get retaliated immediately by Marmaduke Grills, who's now walking forward with the help of AIM, who's going to get onto Gnomercy, take it down right away, but no! High Five is too far forward. Didn't be able to connect onto that. And it's going to be sticking to Dingo. Going to get forced here any moment now. Does force finally. Dingo rushing forward, trying to take down Mela. One sticky is all it takes. Can he do it? The shotgun! Can he do it? He's playing around! Oh, Mela is still alive. Going to be able to stay alive for just a minute longer. Yike going to take down Rando during that exchange in the IT. And Badonsky sitting at stickies all over the place. Can Gnomercy get into the point here?
It looks like they're going to have a pretty easy time getting in here because there's a lot of players backed up. But we do have a scout in Yomps running hard at the point. They're going to get Slemnish and continue the march forward. A big bomb comes down from Mela, but it's going to end up with a double frag trade out there, basically. And now we've got a little bit of a push fight going now as well. Rando and Badonsky are going to fall. Ascent's going to get failure. And another Dingo pipe will take the life of Corsa. But Ascent there, their stiff defense is going to come back to haunt them because they are 3 players down and at uber disadvantage. Well, the lack of scouts here for Gnomercy has really slowed them down a lot more than I anticipated. So I still expect them to push, though.
Absolutely, right now in the rollout, they're peeking very aggressively. They're rotating over to the lobby because that's the smarter option because there is a sniper keeping eyes on it. You got to make their way in fast because that sniper is going to be a huge problem. Big bomb from AIM, able to connect onto the players in the upper area. Going to take this down very quickly and methodically. And now Mela walking forward. He does see the player, spams it out. He's playing a lot more defensively than he cares for. And Yomps on the Natasha Heavy, slowing players down with every single bullet. We do see Slemnish working his way in, trying to peek in. All different angles are a little bit too much for Yomps, who runs out of ammo at the right time. They get taken out by Marmaduke Girls, and the follow-up from Yite is able to take on Badonsky with no stickies on the point. It's all hands on deck. Marmaduke Girls going to be launching Gnomercy far and away. And the last ditch effort from Corsa stop this scout. It's so much damage. The clutch arrow is going to keep both players alive, and they're going to be able to get that cap. Nice work from High Five to keep Slemnish on the brink of death, saving him at just a moment's notice and winning them the round 1-1 in the first 12 minutes.
Yeah, it's cool to see it tied up so early. This mid might be the big momentum shift if Gnomercy can come out here and win it.
You see Junie, aka Dingo, rushing forward, getting a lot of stickies on Badonsky, but he's not feeling the pressure right now. He's getting killed up and rotating over to the side. Yomps very aggressively peeking. He can get a little bit of pressure from Marmaduke Grills, who gets taken down, followed up by AIM. takes down Mela, and now Ascent doesn't even have the positioning to work with, but Corsa and Yomps are not afraid. Yomps just runs forward into the fray, gets taken out finally by Aim, who's got very low health and no ammo to work with. He's just spamming rockets at a desperate attempt. He's reloading now. He tries to go for it, but Corsa snipes him out of the rock, and finally Yike goes down. Ascent pick up a round, or at least a mid-fight, potentially securing the round.
Yeah, that's an interesting strat out of Gnomercy, where they basically just throw Marmaduke away and rely on Ascent being hungry for frags to pull them out of position. But instead, they just all died because the rest of the team, because of the shape of process and some of the elevation changes, they just were not there to clean up any additional frags after they got Mela. So now we're watching an Uber advantage push from Gnomercy. This should be pretty routine for Ascent. In they go. There is the 7th player. They're rotating up top. And there's oh wow, of course it's going to get taken out right away. But Mela, Yomps, and Mela again with the shoddy boom body are going to get more frags. Yomps is going to die to the heavy here. There's the scout on the point. They're backing them off. Soldier comes out. I believe that's Marmaduke. Oh, he's going to get wiped out by Badonsky though, and that's going to seal the deal. 2-1 for Ascent. They said not so fast, no mercy. So here we go with another mid. Gnomercy's looking to get a bit of a comeback going here. I like their soldier strat so far, but it's not enough. Yeah, we're going to watch Marmaduke. A huge bomb. Going to do the same thing. Hide out in IT. Oh, there was a rando waiting for him. So that's not going to let the double bomb go down quite the way they wanted. And when you lose a player like that, it's really hard to get any wind back in your sails. Failure is going to go down as well. And now come the big soldier bombs. And they will lose their medic and Slimnish as well. The big bomb comes in from Dingo. He does a ton of damage, but is unable to get any frags. So that is going to put them in a really crappy situation, as they say technically. There is a bomb in there from Aim to try to save the day as well, throwing away everything, but unable also to get the frags. So we're going to see a Slimnish and Failure off-class Sniper Engineer respectively to try to block this. I prefer the heavy to the Engie in this situation because Gnomercy's Uber is going to come in straight away here. But maybe it's going to work out. They come in from the far left, and maybe that sentry gun will grow into a big boy just in time. There it is, level 2. There's no Uber to protect them from it, but no, unfortunately they're not able to blow those stickies away. And Marmaduke's going to die as well. So no Badonsky, no Marmaduke, but Rando's going to get domed by Slimnish, and Ascent's push is starting to lose momentum and fall apart here. And it looks like they're going to pull out. And that will leave a slight Uber advantage for Gnomercy. They are trying to come out. There's no one really in back cap position either.
We will be able to see Yomps, who's actually sneaking up onto the point. Gonna get out to high 5, trying to juke him, and a follow bomb from Rando. It's gonna be just enough to take down high 5, and now with high 5 down, this Uber advantage that they so desperately needed to cling to is now gone and never coming back. At least at the moment, because the frags are so strong, but Gnomercy is even stronger than it. They are getting on top of it. Badonsky gets pistoled by Yite. It is just poor Mela, who actually managed to pick up a nice little arrow there. He'll be able to stay alive a little bit longer, but Aim, fighting all alone, forces off the Uber, thankfully. Yite can be rotating out of that, and somehow the jukes from Aim, he's so strong! He's hiding under it, and he doesn't even see. Mela has no idea whatsoever. What an amazing play from Aim to keep things alive. Staying into it. Now we do see finally Mela gets taken out, but Rando comes forward, takes down Yite and Aim at the same time. He's walking forward now. He shoots Slimnish, but gets taken down as he craters to his knees. And Gnomercy, desperate to heal any players alive. Yomps on the left side, Corsa in the battlements, taking down Marmaduke. Very strong pick right there, but the roller, the pipe from Dingo is going to take on Corsa, and Slimnish cleans up Yomps. Falling close to the choke is Slimnish with no fear whatsoever, and the follow-up from Dingo rotating through the IT. Could potentially grab a frag here, but no, the players from Ascent have backed out just in time, and they are going to be trying to potentially hold this, but their damage is so strong from Gnomercy. I don't see how Ascent can re-push at any moment.
Yeah, that whole second push boiled down to not being able to get any height advantage for Ascent. And they just got bullied out, basically, and I can't resist. So if you're a Star Wars fan, you know what happens when you have the high ground. And that's pretty much all that went down there. Ascent had good plays, but they had way inferior positioning. Despite having no medic, Gnomercy was able to turn that into a win and take not only second, but mid as well.
Woo! 2 soldiers go down in that exchange. Yomps got a nice snipe onto aim just before Marty Grills could even finish his bomb. Very good sideline from Yomps, keeping eyes on the choke. It's going to be able to open things up over to the IT where the players are now rotating. Ascent flooding in, hearing the roar of it, the calling of the frags, and now with all that damage on Dingo, the force is going to come up from high 5. Slemnish is going to chase it down. If they can get the stickies at the choke point and block out Yomps out of the shutter, they could hold on to this midpoint for just a little bit longer while the respawns come back in.
Yeah, you know, as a theory crafting thing, when this map first came out, it was actually proposed that you ought to, instead of doing the tag bomb, you ought to double suicide scouts because they would come back so fast and refight at mid. They actually just did the double soldier sack, essentially, and ended up with the soldiers back in time to contest the fight at mid, so that was a kind of a big risk, but it played out perfectly. And now we've got the Yomp sniper trying to get them off of second and discourage any real attempts to push. So we'll see, because Yomps doesn't have as good of a sightline as anybody playing for Gnomercy would, but it's still plenty good enough.
Yeah, playing all the way back at the rollout room is going to be a great vantage point for both the choke, the sewer, and a tiny bit of the battlements. If he just rotates over, looks at the top of IT, with Rando holding very far forward, it's not going to be a big risk. Marmaduke Grills once again bombing in, doesn't make anything happen of it. Nursery is just a little bit too good at the surfs, and the rest of the players are too good at focus firing when he lands. So as a result, we do see Yite taking a body shot there. They pick up the health pack and stay alive for just a moment longer, as the pressure from choke is really strong. Aim walking forward and pressure the players all the way back, and Ascent decides to reset, but they do have players very aggressively in choke. Podonsky and Yomps, or Corsa rather, playing very close here, and Yomps getting a lot of angles to work with here. Gets a nice little snipe onto Slemnish, who had a buff, and Corsa's going to take it down inside of the IT as he rushed his way forward. Ascent will take the mid in a very weird exchange, and we're seeing, because of High Five's disadvantage, they won't be able to make anything happen at this moment.
Oh, but we've got a Marma all over, but a clutch arrow almost saves Podonsky, but it's not enough at the end of the day. They still cannot cap this point because there are 2 Gnomercies now behind, and they're coming in again. Oh, what a hit from Marmaduke onto Nursey. That was a great air shot that's going in a video.
Nursey drops the N1, and Corsa might be the N2 coming up in just a moment. But Aussie's got traps all over the point, though. Could potentially slow these players down. Rando desperate to get down to High Five. Nice little surf, but he does still take a little bit of damage. High Five still taking a lot of pressure. Throws an arrow, tries to connect with Dingo, who is now rushing forward in the lobby. Gonna get some nice damage onto Podonsky, but will not be able to clean that up. Mela rushes forward to defend Podonsky a little bit, but it's time now. We do see full advantage thanks to that frag from Marmaduke Grills. Will they be able to push in time and make the best of this? They do see Yomps is a heavy up top, and Sniper from Corsa going to take a shot, misses it right away. The bomb comes in from Aim, who's staying alive for just a moment longer, going to be crushing these players up top. Yomps eats a sandwich, gets taken down in time. Now it's all about the point. Can they lock the players out? They do get all the frags. This is looking like Gnomercy's match, or at least the round. They're going to get on point, forcing the stickies to blow, and that'll be it. The round 2-2. With very little time in this first half. Who will take the 3-2 lead for this first map?
Yeah, it's 0-0 now, essentially, with 8 minutes, which is plenty of time in process land. So we'll see. They're coming to mid again. What will we get out of these teams?
Big bomb from Rando, who is able to connect onto Junie from Spy Kids, taking him down right away. Now with Dingo down, it's going to be very hard for the rest of the team to come forward. Rando did go down. It's a desperate bomb from Marmaduke, and the damage is strong enough for Podonsky. Both scouts of Gnomercy rotating all over the point. Slemnish, no fear whatsoever, pistoling away at Mela, who's getting healed up. Oh, the damage is too strong. Mela just barely gets out in time. And the rest of the pressure is so strong, but they do not have the numbers. They do have the numbers, but they don't have the presence to keep the pressure going forward and take this second point. But they do have the numbers now, and they just need to start working their way in. Dingo, very low on health, going to be rotating, desperate for an arrow, while the rest of these players, they're so scattered. Yite is on the battlements near the rollout, rotating forward, trying to get onto Nursey here. Forces the Uber off. Both are exchanged now on the point. High Five still has a little bit of Uber left to work with, but will be doing it to keep Dingo alive as he backs out of the choke point. Yeah, it was a death in that exchange, and Marmaduke Grills is going to be the next one after he takes out Rando. Gets cleaned up immediately by Corsa, who is now rotating through the IT, and this Ascent push is looking so strong to take the midpoint.
Yeah, that was a bit of a botch again from Gnomercy. Their Uber didn't really need to be popped there, and it kind of caused them to just dissolve as everything got discombobulated. And now we've got an IT push coming down. There are soldiers there to deal with it, though, and they're going to back away. That's part of, you know, usually, according to the story, for some gossip, Cookie Jake thought there was going to be a week delay, so he took a quick vacation, and it turned out there wasn't a week delay. Oh, well, trying to get the air shot's not going to get him, though, onto Badonsky. But, so they ended up with High Five here in this match, and even though High Five isn't a bad player, sometimes that unspoken sort of communication can get broken up. Now, we do see a two-man sack, essentially, here. And we'll see what's going to happen. They're going to Uber in here. And Maela's going to secure the double kill with the shotgun. And that'll even things out. However, the Uber is still in play for Gnomercy. Will they attempt to force it? Doesn't look like it, Ro.
Maela is behind in the IT, trying to pressure it, and at the same time as the rest of Ascent rushing forward, they have all the respawns and are going in. Right now, Slemnish taking the Uber, the breadth of this Uber, to take down Nursey and potentially Dingo. He's not Dingo, Badonsky. He couldn't decide on a target, and as a result, Yomps on the midpoint, able to take 3 frags completely on his own. And now Nursey's still alive and kicking. Slemnish is going to go down now, and High Five will not make it out of there alive. There is Yite, however. He's hiding in the corner. Finally gets taken down. Yite, with a retaliation frag spree of his own, tries to make it happen, but Corsa will be able to clean that up and stop that frag streak from happening. And now with Nursey, big advantage, big numbers, and the midpoint, will they be able to take this round and end the first half?
Yeah, that was, again, there was a bit of a mistake there from the med for Gnomercy. What you want to do there is when you've got Uber like that and the other team shows itself, you're just going to take that Uber into them and kill all of them. But instead they ended up backpedaling, and then whenever you pop an Uber and you're walking backwards, nothing good is ever going to come from that. And that's exactly what happened, and then Ascent made a nice play afterwards. But they're recovering our Gnomercy. They come out of second like gangbusters and just blow away Ascent. And we've actually got Dingo high grounding it on the midpoint. Gets the med frag as well, but there is a scout going for High Five, but it doesn't matter. High Five's got that scout movement, and Corsa is unable to hit him at all.
Unfortunately, Nursey did not get the forward spawns. It was just nipple airs away on the respawn timer to get that in there. But now Nursey now just getting to the respawn. Huge disadvantage, and oh, Yomps immediately with 2 frags. First the headshot of his High Five, and then a follow-up onto aim. Rando will also take down Dingo, and Rando will also die, or at least finish off what was left of Yite, and it was just Marmaduke Grills in the flank. Slemnish rushes forward, sees Nursey right away, but unfortunately mistimed it. Barely missed it out. Hesitated for just a moment, and that hesitation might have cost them the chance to at least get some kind of retaliation frag, while High Five unfortunately died to that great snipe from Yomps.
Yeah, that was one of those situations where you never expect to see a medic walk through a contested doorway first. And when he saw High Five, or Nursey, that was just too much for Slemnish's brain. And he couldn't pull the trigger.
And right now we do see Yomps not afraid to pull the trigger onto Marmaduke Grills, who will be the first exchange of this working their way in. They've broken down the first line of defense, which is Marmaduke Grills, throwing his body into the mix. And he will not be respawning in time for this Uber push to finish its course. Right now we do see Corsa rushing forward here. Getting onto Yite, takes a little bit of damage, going to be able to back up and respawn, but somehow High Five got taken down there. And now with no heals, it's going to be all hands on deck for Gnomercy to make something happen. Aim chuggles himself to death against the walls. Nice little rocket from Marmaduke Grills. Gonna put some nice damage in there, and the Slemnish, with the help of Yite, gonna be able to take on 3 players all together. Can they finish it up? It's Dingo who's on Yomps. Yomps who gets the nice little no-scope with the help of Corsa's 3 streak in the row there. Gonna close out this first half, 3-2. And we've got another 30 minutes lined up if Ascent can close it out sooner than that.
Yeah, I just want to say that was an excellent half of TF2. We'll see what's going to happen next. We saw one of the best air shots of the whole season. And both teams kind of feeling each other out still here. Gnomercy has an opportunity to win. I should underline that. They have made some key errors. And that's basically the difference between them winning and not right now.
Over here on the stats, I want to talk real quickly. Damage is very even across the way. If you can hold down the fort, let us know when we're going live. Frags are very heavily in favor of Ascent. They are doing a very good job of capitalizing on these frags, but the damage line is fairly even, and as a result, it's slowed things down to a crawl, I would say, for most of Ascent's attempts thus far. Because these frags scream at least a 1 or 2 round lead, but instead we have a 3-2, just barely closing out this half. On the side of damage, we do see...
we're going live, bro. I gotta say, sorry to the Marmadog fans out there. I wanted to get some Marmadog thoughts on at this time, but we can't do it. We're already going live. The gamers want to game. And here we go. And also, I should point out that Rando is on scout.
Yomps also going sniper to mid, which is going to be a factor that I don't think Gnomercy's prepared for, because he can just sit in the choke and right away gets the shot onto Marmaduke Grills. With Marmaduke Grills down, there is no fragging power whatsoever. It's just AIM who desperately goes in, and Yomps clips him out of the air very nicely. And it's going to follow up onto Slemnish, potentially. No, Rando's going to pick up that frag with his winger, and Bonatsky rushes forward with his stickies, trying to catch out Yite, who is going to be able to back up just in time. Rando rushing forward now. Yite can't possibly lose this 1v1. Can he? He has all the heals in the world, but Rando will be the better of it. Rushing forward now, it's going to be Marmaduke Grills cutting off that route, but Rando is not afraid. He goes around. Nice little rocket to take that down. Bonatsky a little bit overextended here in the rollout, but will be able to back out just in time. They don't even have the midpoint. Marxist.
Yeah, that was a strong chase, but Rando had an opportunity there. Clutch spawn, good communication too from High Five to tell what door he was going through and whatnot, so that he could have Marm come in and save the day. There is a bit of a bomb, but Marmaduke's going to go down. AIM may end up going down as well. It's going to be saved by the shutter door, but big push comes in. Slemnish, failure and failure again. Pick up 3 kills. The Uber is forced. And as I said earlier, an Uber popped while you're walking backwards is never going to work out. And that is exactly what happened to Gnomercy, because they just blew through that choke on them. Just like Marmadog said, you know, Gnomercy will show up on you sometimes. And they ended up popping, backpedaling, and lost 3 players.
Bit of a breather here for a moment as we wait for our players to build their Ubers up and prepare the way. You see Yomps on the sniper getting a nice little angle there. Rando going to get picked up, peeking sewer a little too aggressively. Yomps does have an angle on top of the crates, which opens up most of the IT area for pressure, but with Ascent losing a player, they're going to be playing a little bit more defensively now. And Yite, who walks all the way to lobby, this is going to be a great opportunity. Gnomercy has to flood in right away, because they are losing all their momentum by letting Yite die in vain. Marmaduke Grills in the IT going to be getting a lot of eyes on the players. AIM jumping in, very low on health. One little chip shot is all it's going to take, please! High Five will not be able to save it, and then shot from Yomps will snipe him out of there. Slemnish, once again, at least with the pistol, going to take on Corsa. But with the last bit of this Uber, he's going to be very desperate to get Gnomercy very close on it. Gnomercy so low on health, finally gets taken out by Slemnish, but Rando retaliates, taking down High Five at the midpoint. Going to be meeting up with Yite at the mid. Now spamming it away, going to be able to get back onto point here, grab the health pack potentially, and start the cap and begin to make way for Ascent to hold on to this midpoint for once.
Yeah, and it's actually going to be slow enough. Never mind, Marmaduke gets taken out by the sniper and Yomps, and that's going to slow them down straight away. So the Ascent sniper, actually the one making his presence felt here in this game so far. That was round altering in 2 cases. So we are again at even-ish Ubers here, and typically if you go to TF2 meta school, you learn that you don't want to sniper when you have Uber advantage. But I don't think it's going to matter, because Yomps has the hot hand and gets another frag onto Slemnish. And also Dingo there. It's over. They're going to take this point easy peasy. They're not going to have any trouble. And they'll be all set to push last probably immediately.
In the immortal words of Ruin, if you're going to have a sniper, it's useless unless you're hitting the shots. And Yomps absolutely hitting the shots. Slemdish had an opportunity to get the snipe there, but missed out on it. Now Yomps has free reign while the rest of his Ascent players rush forward. The Ubers are exchanging onto the point. Yomps going to be backing up here as he tries to take down Marty Grills, who's pressuring him. And Yite also doing the same thing, gets juggled by Sticky, but able to pick up the Yomps there. No sniper factor in the play right now. Gnomercy sitting up top, very healthy, going for the arrows, desperate to kill the players. Is going to pick up onto Slemdish here, and Gnomercy also rushing forward, trying to take arrows onto High Five. Does connect. One little swipe is all it's going to be, and it's actually Gnomercy who's going to be clutching out the round with 2 frags and the damage. And that will be it. 4-2 right now for Ascent. 1 round left to close it off. Can they close this match quick and easy and lead us into our analysis round?
Yeah, we'll see. It's Doomsday here. Match point for Gnomercy. We'll see what they've got for us. A very advanced Dingo again.
Go very far forward here. Gonna be getting sniped by a nice little sticky from Madonsky there. Yomps once again on the sniper class, playing things slower. Gnomercy has adapted though. They do know how it works, but Yomps has adapted himself and is able to pick up Marty Grills. But Ascent Rando gets taken down by Slemdish right away. Gnomercy gets taken down by Dingo, who rushed forward with the stickies. Gonna be also following up on Madonsky. Slemdish, the sniper, is too strong. Can Yomps rush out of Shutter and get a shot onto Slemdish? He does take an arrow. Slemdish will be able to stay alive longer. Oh! Immediately removed from the game. Slemdish pulling his hat out, his sniping hat on, and able to take 3 frags of his own in that mid.
Yeah, Slemdish saying anything you can do, I can do better. And they're going to take this easy. Another kill! Blows Rando away at short range. Maybe the ESEA client will take note of that one. We'll see what Slemdish can do now, sniping down the side. There's going to be an Uber, too, to complement this. Corsa is trying to stop. No, Slemdish is going to see him. There's a scout right in his face. He headshots him. But he's not going to be able to get the kill, but it doesn't matter because he's got no health.
Ascent very desperate now to hold on to this. They do have Uber in just a moment, but the cap is so close. Badonsky getting juggled very strongly. The Uber does get off in time thanks to the wonderful magic of arrows healing. Badonsky does get taken out by High Five, though, thankfully. And he's meeting up with Rando here. Going to try and surf it away as best he can. He does dodge it for just a moment. Slemdish, SMG. Can he get the no-scope? Nope.
Well, Marmaduke is chilling behind. So he is
he can't get it. He can definitely get it. Oh, it's over.
Yeah, here he goes.
Well
He's
played.
getting on the point. Reenacting Sandblast, and there he goes. 4-3. Nice round there. Well played by Marmaduke. So they're going to grab that. We'll see if they run that Slemdish sniper. It worked really well for them, playing in the Euro-Asian style.
They do have it, and with Dingo being very fast, it's also going to be a factor here to pressure the players to get on top of the crates and get into the sightlines. Podonsky very far forward on the right side of the point. Gonna get eyes on Slemdish, who is charging up a shot. One shot is all it takes, but Slemdish beefs it first thing out. He is going to be able to get a shot here potentially, but Dingo gets taken down by Rando, gets retaliated by Yite. But now all the players of Gnomercy are going down. It is all up to Slemdish to take one clutch shot, but Gnomercy is too smart for that. And it gets bottled down by Podonsky. I think that's all she wrote, Marxist. This is looking like the end of Gnomercy's process run.
Yeah, the dragon was awoken. And we'll see what they're going to do, but I think it'll turn out pretty well okay. We do have failure going to heavy, and still no med yet. Gnomercy now with Uber. Slemdish is on that sniper, so this is his chance to really cement himself as an incredibly clutch sniper if he can do something here. No, they're going to pop before, not even give him the opportunity. So Slemdish is going to go down first, and there's already pressure on the point. The heavy is doing what he can to try to block this out. He's going to fall, but it's only 3-2 as far as the frags go. We do have a Dingo standing on the point and a soldier bombing around, but it's basically Dingo, and he's going to get one and done by Mela, and that will end the round and the match.
Game set? No, not even set. Just game. We still have a best of 3 set, but that will be Process going to Ascent 5-3. Very well predicted by Marxist and Marmalou. Since you guys have it pretty well nailed as far as the predictions go, why don't we get a breakdown of how this match went? Marmadog.
Honestly, this match was pretty Ascent favored, but a lot of people from Gnomercy just like went off. Slendish went off a few times, Marmaduke went off a few times. AIM even had some good Ubers, but when they have the momentum, they had like a few bad Ubers, and they just completely wipe off it. Like High Five takes a Slemnish solo. It's really bad. Slendish is really good, but they've taken a few where they just run into the other team while Nursey runs away with scout speed as well. And the rest of the team just gets killed by 4 players that aren't being looked at by the Slemnish solo. Also, the Yomp sniper, so good, won that one round, then Slemnish came back and hit every single headshot and single-handedly basically just won them that round by hitting every headshot and just killing everybody.
Yep, Sniper can be good as long as they're just crushing it. And that is exactly what happened. So it was a very interesting Process game. Now, I will remind you, we are headed over to Gullywash. And typically, traditionally, this does take a little bit of time. So unless we want to do a stats rundown or further analysis, Marmadog, then we'll probably cut to a break after that.
Well, looking at the stats in the first half, Badonsky was having a pretty bad game compared to usual. He was 8 and 10. Everybody else in the server at like 20 frags. Dingo 300 damage per minute. Badonsky had 220. Honestly, I think they were just shutting out Badonsky a lot better, which got him those 2 rounds in the first half. But Ascent just took their place and just won the rest of the rounds.
Alrighty, well, if we don't have anything else to say, I'm gonna cue the light bulb for Azazel and send us to music or frag videos or whatever sort of cool thing we've got planned for you or not. And we'll be back very shortly with CP Gullywash.
Your eyes, I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the night gets cold, I won't be alone. We won't be This lake of fire burns my skin. How could love wear so thin? I'm sinking in the hollow ground. Nothing can stop me wanting you somehow. I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around. When the
promise. Do what you want to get it back for us. You take your time, then let me know if you wanna stay or if you wanna go. I know you have difficulty knowing me, but you don't have difficulty showing me that we just need to get away. I'll take you on a wild adventure if you want to go. We're locked in place and sing together. Please just let me know. Won't you synchronize with me? You can be my everything, my everything. You can be my everything, my everything. Won't you synchronize with me? You can be my everything, my everything. You can be my everything, my everything. We haven't got unlimited time. Sun is out and you get to your prime. We're falling for love, we're falling for lust, we're falling through everything. You see the summer's getting closer. We don't feel like we are getting older. So show me what you have to bring. I'll take you on a wild adventure if you want to go. We're locked in place and sing together. Please just let me know. Won't you synchronize with me? You can be my everything, my everything. You can be my everything, my everything. Won't you synchronize with me? You can be my everything, my everything. You can be my everything, my everything. Won't you synchronize with me? You can be my everything, my everything. You can be my everything, my everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking around with us. We've got plenty of more TF2 action going tonight, and potentially even further if Gnomercy can pull it back in this second map of our best of three for the first round of playoffs this ESEA season. It's Gnomercy versus Ascent, in case you didn't know. I am Ro, joined by Marxist on casting, with Marmaloo for the intermittent analysis, with Azazel working that T-Tours. Bring it out in chat if you got love for the cameraman today. Big shout out to Azazel for doing this for us tonight. Right now, we've got the big daddy of legendary maps and across many legendary stories, Gullywash, with Marx's preferred way of saying it in memory of Seabear, Gullywash. We got a match here tonight, Marxist. What do you think of Gullywash?
I like Gullywash. It's a little bit different. I'd say as a follow up to watching Process, this is nice because Gullywash and Process are about as far apart as you could get as far as the ways that the map plays. The mid on Gullywash is much smaller. You only really have 2 ways to push instead of 3 or 4, depending on how you count the shutter doors at a sewer. And the last is much harder to push. So we'll see what goes down here. Traditionally, Ascent have done okay on this map, as far as I can remember through all the different periods of Ascent history. Well, actually, again, sorry, Marmadog fans, we're not going to get to hear from them because they're going live too soon and are personally robbing you of your time. So here we go. It's already live. We're here on Gullywash. Now, for a rundown of the rules before we go live here, if Ascent win this match, they are headed on to the upper bracket finals. If they lose, you will see map 3, which will be Granary, which will decide the winner of this first round.
And we do see here the rollouts from Dingo are going to be coming both sides, opting to go to Garage, the big door, and get eyes on things. So you do see Badonsky walking up the right side, gets eyes on the scout Slemnish, trying to connect onto the stickies. High Five is slowly walking up and is going to get cut off completely by Badonsky here. The aggression from Dingo is very strong. High Five gets taken down by Yamps and Corsa, who is also running around, takes down Dingo. The players of Ascent are too strong, but the follow-up from Yite, as well as Aim's going to take down Gnomercy, as well as Corsa and Mela, and now it's going to be an even mid with worse health on the side of Gnomercy, but they're not afraid. Yite runs in, takes down Yams, but not going to clean up onto Aim, and it's just Marmaduke Grills alive, who is hiding behind the corner of the elbow, the banana. He does see Rando, but he misses his shot! No, and then gets taken down by a long-distance shot out of the choke. He will fall to that, and Rando stays alive.
Yeah, normally I tell players, just pretend you have a lot more health than you do. But with 12 health, if they look at you the wrong way, you're gonna die. And so Marmaduke had to really go about that in about the worst possible way. And just hope that somebody was hurt running for that health back. Now, as a result of both medics dying at mid, we do have even Ubers here. Rando actually gets pretty beat up in the flank. The play here from Ascent is actually kind of different than what you normally see, where we've got a scout and Badonsky watching lower. Badonsky actually kind of watching both ways and launching a pipe every now and again to make it look like they're there, but they are going to push in now. Mela's going to die and Corsa's going to get blown up by Aim. And they are now coming through this door here. Gnomercy is stuck on the ground. Rando is trying to lead Gnomercy out. Yomps is going to get Slemnish, but Rando is going to trade out.
The frags are very strong from Gnomercy as they are going to be taking control of this. Aim now walking towards the choke point. Going to pick the health back and get ready to work his way in as he gets eyes on the players. Doesn't see anyone. He sees a demo at the shutter. Maybe jumping onto the point, but he sees a scout as well as Mela. He's going to put the pressure on him and slow him down. High Five's going to arrow him up really quickly, and the aggression from Corsa is going to get him killed here as Yite grabs that frag, and it's going to be playing all the rest in the shutter. Getting onto the point now, trying to get this cap happening before Gnomercy can push forward. The Uber is not going to happen in time to stop this point, and they're going to opt to back off. Dingo very aggressive in the lobby right now. Going to potentially cut off Gnomercy here. Gets a nice sticky onto it. Throws a pipe, but it does not connect. Cannot thread that needle, but Yomps, defensive spy.
Yeah, a kind of rare play, mainly reserved for desperation. Gonna decloak in full ear view of the enemy team. The Uber is gonna come in, but they're getting juggled pretty hard here. And now they're gonna get encircled, basically. And Failure is gonna die down here in this lobby. There are no red players behind it all that I can see. As Ascent comes out here onto the second point, Marmaduke is going to die as well as Dingo. And that should pretty well end it here. They may actually opt to continue going. But we do have Failure coming up on that sniper in forward spawn. Which is mainly good for watching the garage door. He takes a shot and misses. And that'll pretty much be the end of him being able to snipe. And we're going to lose Aim, the Med, and Dingo, and Failure. They're not done yet, though. Slimness is finally going to get something before the shotgun from Mela takes him out. And that was not well done there. The bomb is coming in as well, way high in the sky. Corsa is going to end up finishing off Marmaduke against the ground.
Pushing forward now, Gnomercy. Going to be getting a little bit of health around. They do spot out Aim, who's playing in the river very aggressively. Mela almost catches that Dingo there. Very dangerous play from Dingo trying to get forward there. They are going to rush forward. They're not afraid of stickies. They're going to pop a little bit early, though, just to ensure that they don't take too much damage here. Corsa rushes underneath the point, catches out high five, and now the Heavy is walking onto the point, going to get eyes on Gnomercy. Gnomercy gets taken out by Yike, who turns his attention off for just a moment, and then 1v1s Corsa immediately after. Thunder stays alive for long enough to get in there, but Yomps on the point is going to stop Dingo from getting that cap. 18 HP, very hard to stop that point. That's going to be the first round.
That was rough. It almost looked like they were going to turn that around, but it did not come out for them there. And now we'll head on to another mid with Ascent leading 1-0. And here we go, seeing the second mid of this game. They're going to set up on opposite sides. Now my rule for these is whoever dies first loses, and that's Marmaduke. So it looks like Gnomercy is going to die if the rule is set. But Failure is going to take out Yomps and even things out, but the health is awful for Gnomercy. And they're stuck on the wrong side of mid as well. So you're not only is your health bad, but you're trapped. You can't leave, really. And they're trying to get Uber onto their med so they can make the great escape. But they're not going to get it. Well, there is an Uber, but there's no one to Uber with. And this is just bad now because you should just kill yourself if you're the med player, because your spawn is now ultra delayed. Luckily, Marmaduke goes in for a play on Mercy and dies as well, which is going to at least set their spawn timers together. It would have been worse had Marmaduke not died just milliseconds before. And Gnomercy now with full Uber advantage. I'm surprised to see them not climbing, but Slimnish goes on Sniper, tries to do something, ends up SMGing, and then just dies. And in they go from the lower. Pushing in the 7th player is But a Baby. They are going to manage to kill the med straight away. Badonsky's actually going to die, though, and that may turn the whole thing around here. Mela is having a hard time dealing with this sentry, but they're going for the TLR water strat, and now they're all over it. Yep, and eventually Soldier Class is just going to bounce you back, and they're going to secure that round again, 2-0 for Ascent.
Very strong and very slow mid. Very interesting that it panned out that way for Ascent. Thankfully, going to get another round under their belts and looking to take a third as they go into this mid fight. We do see Yomps trying to make his way up top. He's very aggressive on it. Going to get eyes onto the Soldier. A little bit of damage there. Yike can take it down very low, but Rando is going to be able to get taken down before Yike dies to the hand of Corsa, who is now also going to be helping the aggression right now on top of the nipple. Going to get pressured so hard, juggling and juking as much as he can. Ascent getting the better of this mid-fight so far. Underneath, Mela with the shotgun, trying to take on Marmaduke Rose, who's so low on health. One rocket's all it's going to take. Mela's so low. Dingo desperate to get in there. Mela going to turn around and quickly get that nice little meat shot there. Marmaduke Rose very close to low, trying to make something happen with the last legs of his life. Yomps pick up his third kill this mid-fight, and that will be it. Gnomercy almost wiping.
Yeah, the only saving grace there is they did get on to Gnomercy, and Gnomercy decided to go ahead and pop Uber there to save at least having a medic for Ascent. So they are going to get second. And they're moving up very aggressively because there are only 3 players, and they're very aggressive, actually. And Marmaduke and Dingo are both going to die. It's just Failure and Jelly Lips as it is down here, and they're all over it. And that will send us 3-0 to the half. So there we go. And now we finally have time. Marmadog, what are you seeing here? What are you thinking?
The mids from Gnomercy are just really uncoordinated. I remember I saw one of the mids where Dingo and High Five went up their own side, but the rest of Gnomercy was on right, and EVL was on the Gnomercy side and just completely mulched the demo med, and they still almost won that mid somehow, but their coordination is just off, and a few times the plays that they usually got, like on a process last time, they're just not getting any plays done. They're just losing fights horribly. A lot of the Ubers that Ascent ends up taking in, they get the med pick, they get another pick, and they just keep steamrolling and just keep it going because High Five keeps dying in these situations. Gets caught out, and they really haven't had a foot in this game at all. And if they want to win this match, they're going to have to try and change something on these mids. Looks like the game's starting.
All right, well, thanks for that, Marmadog. Perfect timing. That's just one of those something I've seen at the mids in particular is I agree with you completely that they're disjointed. It almost looks like they expect Ascent to do something different than what they're doing, and that they're like completely thrown off by that. But we'll see.
Now.
Double sniper though there, and Badowski's gonna die to one of them, and Rando's gonna go down next. So the attempt at a double sniper, I'm actually kind of upset because the proper play there is to also have a heavy, but they're all just gonna die now. And in comes the bomb. No real damage yet, though. Actually, no. There's also a Dingo under, and Dingo's gonna get the sneakiest frag and manage to secure another onto Corsa. And now Dingo is gonna get wiped out here by Rando and get the crappy spawn. And we do see a heavy as well and a spy. So kind of just a little bit of a GG button here, but trying to have a little bit of fun before you do it.
Rando gonna meet the head of the Putis, and Putis will overcome, pull out the taunt as well, because that is all it takes for High Five to feel happy. He has exactly 5 HP to work with. He gets the little what's up in chat as he manually spaces the words dick face. Every single letter spaced out. We do see AIM also behind on the spy, and Slemnish going for a back cap. If they stop this point, this could be a potential, but no, it's just not enough. They don't have any players coming in. AIM rushes forward, gets taken down. We do see the nice aggressive direct hit from Dingo. Not gonna be able to connect anything there. Oh, of course it gets sniped by Marvin Grills, who's got a nice little angle here. Gets a nice shot onto Mela as well. And if Slemnish can juke around long enough, they could potentially hold this, because the respawns are coming from AIM as well as High Five. It's going to be coming in as Soldier, trying to get out the melee, but it's not going to work. Nurse is going to pick up the frag there, and that's going to be 4-0. I think that's all she wrote, Marxist.
Yeah, it's when you start running this no med to mid strat. That's the TF2 equivalent of typing GG in StarCraft or another game that tends to go pretty long. So we'll see what they do here. They are running double spy, double sniper, double soldier, and we'll see if any kind of funny shenanigans occur.
Wow, that's actually, I believe, the Ambassador headshot that Slemnish just picked up there before going down. Both spies down, and Marta Girl's also going down. It's both soldiers alive. We do see Dingo with a direct hit doing a little bit of work, but High Five was playing very passively on the mid, and as a result, he is going to be able to rotate here and potentially find something. He says he's a friendly. He's opting himself to be a friendly player, and I don't think they want anything to do with it. Nope, they trust him, except for Yomps. Or Corsa. Corsa doesn't trust High Five whatsoever. And players are dropping like flies now. You see a little bit of a snipe from Marvin Girls, gets batted down by the what's it called, 3-rune blade, and Nurse is going to finish the cap off, and that is going to be it. 5-0, a very convincing round, and match set to Ascent, picking up their first win in the playoffs bracket.
All right, and we will, I think, have our interview now, so I will get this taken care of so you gentlemen can talk for a bit to cover for me.
Marmadog, my friend, my brother, before we got to the unfortunate second half, well, we already got your analysis of the first half. There's not really much to say about the second half, since there was all that GG nonsense, playing heavy as the medic and all that other thing. Do you think it was better to do it that way, or do you think they could have actually mounted a victory if they really tried?
I don't think this team cares nearly enough to like even try. And if you lose, it's just so demoralizing. You just put so much effort in to lose. You already are 3-0 down, so they just gave up, threw in the towel, took the loss. Takes their check, but the match that really matters for them is in the lower bracket semis to see who gets more money and who gets to fight more time in the lower bracket final.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, we don't even have to call it a going for the check necessarily. There is a lot of potential in the late game of this playoff season for a comeback from either Gnomercy or Fank Gaming if they put in a little bit of effort in these coming weeks. Ascent and Gnomercy or Froyotech you brought up earlier in the pregame. You were talking about how they've been scrimming each other nonstop, getting as much practice as possible. Do you think if Gnomercy or Fank Gaming even remotely try and put that same amount of effort, do you think they could come back around in the lower bracket playoffs and potentially mount a comeback and an upset potentially?
If they really put in the effort, I think they can do it, but that's the whole determining factor if they really want it that badly.
Gotcha. Any other comments? Something you saw in this game that really stuck out to you as far as performance or good plays in general?
I'm just gonna ignore this last game. But on process, I didn't get to talk about it, but on process, Rando in the scouts actually had a really good game. Rando pulling more than his weight, and the scouts of Gnomercy also played pretty well. But first map, good map. This one kind of crumbled.
That is very unfortunate in this second half. Couldn't see the clutch and very hype balance of power that we saw in the first match. And I'm pretty sure Marxist is still trying to nail down an interview potentially from the Ascent side. We're still waiting on that, so I'm really not sure what else to ask. Marmaloo, what are your plans for the next season of TF2?
Plans?
What do you see in the horizon?
For my team or just period?
Your team, Invite in general, what do you see? How does it feel right now in the top? How do people feel?
Pretty sure there's gonna be a few roster mix-ups, at least on like one or two of the teams. I know for sure, and some I'm pretty sure are staying static. But my team should be staying alive next season with maybe one new player, depending on what happens.
All right.
All right. Well, it sounds like, not to interrupt, but it sounds like we're probably not gonna have an interview. Ascent is too busy popping open the champagne to celebrate to do an interview. It seems like we may still get one, but I doubt it. So we'll just have our little chat here and then send everybody home. Is the other game going on right now, or is it already over?
It's going on still.
Yep.
Well, let's just send him over there. How's that?
Yeah, there's not much else to talk about it. This was a GG from the moment that 3-0 half happened. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you personally for joining us for this beginning of the ESEA playoffs. But it's not over, because over on the side of TFTV2, Team Fortress TV 2, we'll link it in chat and probably send a host when the stream closes. You can go over to their channel and watch Corn Pop and Tambo, guest caster, coming in to cover Fank Gaming versus Froyotech, which, as we said, is still underway. So I'd like to give a thank you to Marxist and Marmaloo for joining us on the analysis desk, as well as Azazel. I myself, Ro, have been here, and thank you for watching. Check us out, teamfortress.tv, and let's bring it over to TFTV2.